Hello and welcome back to my channel. New setup. This has been here the whole time. You just haven't been able to see it because of my camera. I got a new camera. We raised the table up. A whole new channel. Well, same channel, same Liz, but it's better. So today we're going to get away from some of the cakes and cupcakes that we've been making and some cookies. And we're going to get into pie. I have an apple and peach pie prepared. We have a homemade pie crust. So let's get started. So today we're not going to make your regular circle pie that you see in the store or in a bakery. We're going to make them into little jars like this. They're super cute. You can put them in your lunch for school or work, or you can take them on a picnic. They're really easy to transport with. You can put a lid on them. These are canning jars and they can withstand high heat, which is why we're able to put them in the oven today. And you can even give them out as gifts to your friends or family for springtime. Yeah. So we're going to start with our pie crust because it needs to chill in the fridge for 10 minutes. In this bowl I have 6 cups of flour, a half a cup of sugar, and a tablespoon of salt. And we're just going to mix it together. Yeah, with your hand. Just mix it. This is a pie crust. They're super easy. They're kind of like biscuits. So you can just mix them together with your hands. It's very, very easy. And then you're going to take, I have a cup of shortening and a cup of butter. I should have done the butter first. See how this, there we go. I'm a messy baker, if y'all haven't figured that out already. Alright. This is why you put your hair up usually, but I wanted to look good for the video, so I left it down. Put your hair up. So you're going to take it and you're going to pinch it into little pieces. And just drop it back in the flour. You could use one of those little cutting tools that they give you or that you can buy at the store for like cutting in fats into your mixtures, but you have 2 tools that God gave you that do just the same thing. Then once you have everything broken up, kind of like that, you're just going to mix it together, squeezing it. Until it's all into little bitty pieces. You're going to want to do this fast because you don't want to melt your butter too much. It's going to make your dough nice and flaky. So you don't want to make them melt to where they can't make your crust nice and flaky. Once you get everything nice and mixed together, you're going to make a little well, which just means make a hole or a little dip in the middle. And we're going to add our eggs. So you need 2 eggs for this recipe. And this is the part where you don't want to over mix, because your dough will turn out tough if you do. So you're just going to lightly move it around. And it's going to be a little bit sticky, but that's okay. Once we add our water and vinegar, everything will work out. Alright, and now that this is, everything's mostly egged, we're going to add our 2/3 cup of water and 2 teaspoons of vinegar to the mix, and then just mix it around like you've been doing. Alright, now that you got your dough nice and put together, we're going to chill it in the fridge for about 10 minutes while we work on our pie filling. So for our peach pie filling, we have peaches that, since it's not peach season right now, we have bought canned ones. We drain the juice, save the juice for later, and then you put half a cup of sugar and a pinch of salt in a bowl, mix it together with the peaches, and then let them sit for about 30 minutes. and they'll release some more juices. And then right now we're boiling them on the stove until they get to a nice thick heavy syrup. We did buy the ones that were in the peach juice, so it doesn't have heavy syrup already. So we're making our own heavy syrup, and now we know what's in it. That's what I like about making your own heavy syrup, is you know what you put in it. So now we're gonna put a teaspoon of lemon juice, and then we also have a dash of cinnamon and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Don't add too much. People don't want to be having spicy peaches. Just adds more flavor, brings out the flavor, the natural flavor of the peaches. And we're just going to mix that all together. Alright, now we got that all mixed together, we're going to take another bowl, and we have a half a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of flour, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. This is really important because you're not going to get that really soupy pie at the end result. It'll soak up all that extra moisture and really help your pie come together much better. I forgot to bring my whisk. You're just going to whisk it together. You got to whisk it real good, because if cornstarch doesn't get mixed together well with everything else, it'll clump up and give you a nice chunk of cornstarch to chew on. And I don't know, personally I don't like to chew on cornstarch in my pie. So once you get that all mixed up together nicely, you're going to pour it in your peaches, mix it together. This is also 3 pounds of peaches, if I didn't mention that earlier. It's gonna get milky because it's mixing with all the juices in the peaches. And then once that peach juice gets done boiling on the stove, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup to this mixture, and there's your peach pie filling. So for our second pie filling, we're going to make apple pie. We have a Granny Smith apple here. We're using Granny Smith because you can use whatever kind of apple you want. Granny Smith just really does good in the baking. It doesn't break down too much and turn into applesauce in the pie. And it doesn't oversweeten your pie, because you don't want it to be super sweet apple like you're eating a candy apple. It adds a nice little tartness to it. But of course you're going to need to peel and chop them, and then you're going to add the juice of half a lemon. What are you doing? I need those apples for my pie filling. If I don't have your apples for the pie filling, I just have cinnamon and cornstarch, and it should... Well, thank you. And you did put the lemon juice in there. Awesome. So we have 4 apples chopped, which makes about 4 cups. And then you have the juice of half a lemon here. And then for our dry ingredients, you're going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and a pinch of nutmeg, and do a 1/3 cup of cornstarch. You're going to mix those together as best as you can in a tiny bowl that you've given yourself. Alright, and then we're going to add those to 3 1/3 cups of boiling water that we have on the stove. You're going to mix that for 2 minutes. You're going to stir it constantly, and then you're going to add the apples, and we'll show you that right now. So you're just going to add your mixture. And just start whisking. And then you're going to add your apples. And then wait for it to start boiling again. Then you're going to let this boil for 6 minutes. Now we've had our dough chilling in the fridge for probably 20 minutes for us to make that. You're going to take it. You're going to roll it out on some floured surface. I'm just going to take a little handful at a time since we have such little pies we're going into. Take some more flour, put it on top. And just like we roll the sugar cookies, you're going to roll them pretty thin. Once you get it nice and thin, you're going to take a bench scrape and just cut it in half, about to where you can make a little pie in here. Just gonna pick it up, plop it in. And this is the tricky part, is getting it all in and then getting it in the corners and everything. But this dough is very forgiving. Pie dough is very forgiving because it'll let you make patches, do whatever you need to. And you're just going to make sure that you get every little corner, get in there real good. And if it's a little thin, just pinch off a piece and patch it. I did end up making a little hole in the bottom there, and there's a couple little patches over here. So I'm just going to take a little piece that I just pinched off, put it down, and then keep going around, making sure that it's all about the same thickness. You don't want it to be any thinner than another piece because it'll burn. You're going to take a serrated knife, just chop off that top piece. Just run it along the top like you're just trying to cut off the lid, and it'll make it nice and easy to take it off. Now that that's all done, now that you're all even and everything, you're going to do that to the rest of your jars. And now that we have them all properly lined, we're going to take our filling. We're going to do 6 of them peach and 6 of them apple. And you're going to leave a 1/2 inch of space from the top so that they don't boil over and cause your outside to be gross. Alright, now that we have our peach pies filled, I've decided that our peach is going to have a little heart on the top because it is the hand's favorite pie, so he wanted me to put a heart on. And you're not going to want to do a whole disc without having a hole in it, because the hole allows steam to come out and it doesn't let your pie get soggy. Just going to put that on, pinch the sides. Alright, now we're going to flip it over and do our apple pie. For our apple pie, we're going to take little strips like this. We're going to make a lattice crust, like the classic apple pies you always see in the store. And lattice, people might be scared of it. It's super easy. So I'm just going to lay 3 strips this way. And I'm going to fold 2 of them. Well, fold 2 of them back. The 2, you're going to skip 1, fold those 2. Put 1 down. Fold them back over. And you're going to shimmy this one down a little more. Fold it back over, and then you're going to take this middle one, pull it back, place one over, pull that one back. We're going to put 1 more on here, so we're going to pull the same 2 back. That last one, pull them back over. Now you have a lattice crust. You're just going to push down on the edges to seal them. And then as you do that, they should just fall off. And there's your lattice crust. We're going to do that to the rest of these, and I'll see you in just a minute. Alright, now that everyone is all covered and ready to go in the oven, we're not quite ready because we need to do an egg wash. So I just took an egg, scrambled it up a little bit like you're going to make scrambled eggs, and I'm going to take a pastry brush and just lightly go over the top. This will let you get a nice shine on there, make them look really good. But don't do too much. You just need a little coat, or you'll look like you put scrambled eggs on top of your pie. We don't want that. It's just a nice light coat. Make it nice and shiny. Now that that's all done, please be careful taking this to the oven because it is very heavy. You got jars on here with pie filling and all that other stuff. It's very heavy, so just be careful when you're taking it to the oven. You're going to have your oven preheated at 350 degrees, and you're going to bake these for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long it takes them to start bubbling. You're going to wait till it gets all bubbly on the middle in the filling, and then nice and brown, golden brown on the top. So I'll see you when these are coming out of the oven. So our pies just came out of the oven. We have our nice apple pie with the lattice crust, super cute. And then we have our little heart peach pie. They did just come out, so I'm trying not to burn myself. I'm just going to put that down. They did end up taking about 30 to 45 minutes. I underestimated how much liquid there was going to be in them and how long it would actually take for them to bake. So just keep an eye on them and make sure you don't burn them or have dough coming out whenever you pull them out. But that's it for today. Let me know if you liked it. Comment down below anything you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye! I'm not nervous in front of a camera. I don't know what I was going to start with. I don't know. One you see in a bakery or in the store. Oh, here we go. Okay. You ready?